Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're embarking on a really extraordinary personal journey. We're pulling insights from an interview called Fisi Yerwidi, which translates to something like the happy Beijing girls, happy high school, happy university, happy returnee path.
Hmm.
And this deep dive, it's really all about navigating those big life choices,
Hmm.
education, career, and finding your own way, even when there's like strong outside pressure. We'll be exploring the story of a woman known as Odi Shushi. She shares her reflections on key moments from high school right up to her current job at a huge tech company.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating here, I think, is how her story just beautifully illustrates that classic tension, between external expectations, especially family, and that internal pull towards what you're really interested in. It's a journey of, well, evolution and finding your own agency at those really crucial points in life.
Exactly. And for you, our listener, this deep dive should offer some really valuable nuggets on things like career pivots, the often unpredictable nature of professional life, and maybe the enduring power of personal connection, too. Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start right at the beginning. We're doing Ryan's high school years at Rinda Fuzhong, that's schooling in Beijing, top school. She describes herself as a Nia, which is kind of like a plain country girl. And she felt, well, a lot of pressure because she said her classmates
Were just brilliant. But despite all that, she calls her high school experience happy, which is interesting.
Yeah, it really raises that question, doesn't it? Like, what actually defines happiness? With messages, blessings from every single classmate.
That's incredible. So connection was key.
Seems like it. Suggests that, belonging and those deep social ties were maybe her real source of joy there more than anything else.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. After high school, time to pick a university, pick a major. Odunk was apparently determined to leave Beijing, wanted a change of scenery.
Common feeling.
But her father had a very, very strong opinion, a directive, almost. She had to choose a science and engineering major.
Why that specifically?
He believed it offered more flexibility for future careers. The safer bet, maybe.
Ah, right, the pragmatic choice.
So she ended up at an unnamed ex-university in a coastal city, studying electronics information science and technology.
And this connects to that bigger picture, doesn't it? That classic dilemma so many young people face.
Totally.
How much do you weigh parental advice or what society expects against your own gut feeling? Especially when maybe you're still figuring out what that feeling even is.
Yeah, and she candidly admitted she just didn't understand her major well at the time, didn't really grasp it.
Right, even though looking back now, she sees it as like foundational to the chip industry, even serving the nation. But back then,
It was just something she was doing because she was told to, not her passion.
precisely, driven by external forces.
But interestingly, her university life wasn't really defined by this challenging major she didn't connect with.
Oh, where did she find her place then?
She found
Her happiness, as she puts it, in the student union, getting involved in campus projects, working with good friends.
Ah, the extracurriculars.
Exactly. She felt that was more.
Sometimes those extracurricular things or the connections you make with peers, they actually provide more meaningful lessons, more personal development than the formal classes, especially if the major itself isn't really a natural fit for you. It shows growth isn't just about the syllabus.
Okay, fast forward to graduation. Had this really clear thought, almost a gut feeling,
Was.
that if she pursued her undergrad major, she felt she'd either, quote, mess things up, or she just couldn't find a job. A real dead-end feeling.
Wow, that's a tough realization right at graduation.
Yeah, and it led to this huge, pivotal decision. She decided to go to the United States for a master's degree.
In the same field?
No, complete switch. Marketing communication.
Ah, okay. A big pivot.
Huge. And she describes this emphatically as one of the most correct and autonomous choices of her life. Her own decision, finally.
And that's a crucial moment, isn't it? It shows real courage, first to acknowledge that mismatch, that feeling of being on the wrong track, and then to actively do something about it, seek a whole new direction. And, a lot of U.S. grad programs, particularly in humanities or business, they do allow for that kind of field switching. That flexibility was key for her.
Absolutely. It let her pursue something that actually aligned with her abilities, her interests, and it really laid the groundwork for her future career.
Makes sense.
So after her master's, she comes back to China. Her first job was in overseas marketing at a company that actually got acquired by Alibaba later on.
Okay, starting in tech marketing then.
Yep. And then she moved to ByteDance as an overseas operations manager.
Right, ByteDance. So that shows a clear trajectory, moving up in the fast-paced tech world.
Definitely. And her current role there, well, as of the interview back in March 2023, it offers a good salary, no doubt. But
There's always a but in tech, isn't there?
right, it comes with significant pressures.
Yeah.
Really long hours, she mentioned, working like 8 a.m. to maybe 6 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m.
Wow.
And she's juggling time zones, too, adapting to the Australian market while also handling stuff back in China.
That sounds intense. A demanding work-life balance, or maybe lack thereof.
For sure. And she's pretty open about still learning in this new operations role, too, saying it moves even faster than marketing. But what really stands out, what you might find interesting, is her candid reflection on the future.
Oh, yeah. What did she say?
Well, despite the good income now, she genuinely worries about potential layoffs at ByteDance. Partly because of U.S. pressure on the company.
A very real concern in global tech right now.
Totally. And also the challenge of finding a job with a similar salary somewhere else in China if she did have to leave. The market's tough.
Yeah, that raises such an important question for basically any professional today, especially in volatile industries like tech. How do you balance the current demands and rewards of a job, even a high-paying, high-pressure one, with those potential future uncertainties? It's a constant tightrope walk. And her desire for early retirement, which, let's be honest, is relatable to a lot of young professionals.
Right.
It is tempered by this really realistic assessment of just how volatile the tech landscape can be. That tension between wanting security and knowing the ground can shift.
So when she looks back on this whole journey, the pressures, the pivots, the choices, what's the main takeaway? What would she tell her younger self?
Her advice is really direct. She said, definitely choose a major you were interested in. Even if you weren't very clear about what you were interested in at that time, don't blindly follow what your parents think is a right choice. Still follow your own choice.
Powerful.
Yeah. And it's not just about picking a major, is it? It's really about that fundamental principle of self-determination. Owning your decisions. Her whole experience just shows so clearly that making an autonomous choice, one that's truly yours, can lead to much greater fulfillment.
Right.
And a career path where you feel genuinely capable and, engaged, even if it means making a big change later on, like she did. It also kind of hints that starting earlier in something you're actually interested in allows for deeper learning, better networking, stuff that really benefits your career long term.
So we've journeyed through a really fascinating story from the happy chaos of that top high school to navigating a major she didn't love, making that really brave pivot and landing eventually in the high-stakes world of global tech. Her reflections, I think, offer some powerful lessons on just finding your way.
Absolutely. Her path really underscores that personal satisfaction and that feeling of being aligned professionally. It often comes from tuning into your own interests. Even when, well-meaning advice from others might be pulling you somewhere else entirely. It's about being adaptable and honestly courageous enough to make those autonomous choices, as she called them.
So for you, our listener, maybe here's something to mull over as we wrap up. In your own life, what's one right choice, big or small, that you've made, or maybe you're considering making right now, that was driven purely by your own interest, even if, maybe especially if, others advised you differently? Something to think about.